Back again. Big Stevie Cool, back again. 1872. Yeah. Rangers fallout continues. And I'm going to look at Kris Boyds' comments. Alright, everybody. I'm going to try and calm down. Honestly, I don't understand what is. Oh, calm down, calm down, calm down. I'm fuming still. It's 35 minutes past 8, and I can honestly talk this all night, but can't do that. Can't do it all night. Can't do it all night. So let's see. Right. He told Sky Sports, "You don't get time." Hold on, my head's fried, man. Honestly, I need my bed. That is on that today is. That's aged me about 10 years. That game today, and the fallout and everything. Right. So we're going to look at Kris Boyd's comments and break them down because I haven't really had a proper chance to read exactly what he said. So this is what he said, and I quote: "You don't get time in football. You think Rangers fans are sitting at home, absolutely delighted watching Celtic celebrate in front of the TV, watching their team's performance? There, it is embarrassing, embarrassing. The bookies made Celtic and Rangers the same price as they were under Pedro Casino when they came here. That is what they looked like. How many of that Rangers team would get into the Celtic team? None. And that is where you're trying to get to. None of them would get in anywhere near it. You've got a captain, and I know Tavernier's had his critics over the years. Go and show a 2 minute clip of why Celtic totally dominated the game. It was summed up within 2 minutes. Tavernier labouring back when he lost the ball in the middle of the pitch to Kyogo, run the full length to tackle Tom Lawrence. That is the difference." End of quote. I believe earlier I said that Kyogo ran about 60 yards to tackle Dessers. Well, it turns out he tackled Tom Lawrence. So apologies, I did get that wrong. And, anyway, and I quote: "Celtic make things happen. Rangers hope things happen. All this, we are improving, we are improving. It's about time people wise up and realise this isn't going anywhere fast." That was embarrassing today. The whole calling out your teammates, I don't think that can happen anymore. There's no characters in football. You look at Cal McGregor, leads by example on the pitch in terms of getting about it and making things happen on the front foot and getting your teams, getting after teams, but also when it is time to set off and be that disciplined and keep the ball. He's totally different to what Scott Brown was. Rangers don't have any leaders. They can kid themselves on all they want. They don't have any leaders. Beating Ross County 6-0 and swaggering about like I'm the big guy and I'm all good, look at us. These are the games that matter and that you're judged on. I will say again, that was embarrassing after 10 minutes there today for Rangers. End of quote. Totally agree. I think football does lack a lot of leaders and characters these days. As for the Ross County, so celebrated it last week. I was happy, I was buzzing. We won 6-0, right? If you can't celebrate and your team wins 6-0, I don't really know when you can celebrate, right, guys? But it papered over the cracks is the reality. I didn't say, oh, we're going to win the league now because we won 6-0. The result today was still very much on the cards, regardless of what happened against Ross County, and that's the way it's be. And Boyd's right. You've got the over celebrating against St Johnstone, which was pathetic. Let's call it as it is, man. Right? And I'm not going to lose my cool. I'm going to try and stay cool and composed here, right? Because I went ballistic earlier. I did, and I still feel that way. But for the sake of this video, we're going to keep it cool. We're going to keep it Stevie cool, big Stevie cool, big Stevie raging. Was somebody commented earlier, which I thought was funny. But at the end of the day, I just don't understand what is going on here with Rangers and. With Boyd, his comments, everything he said is right. It's like the leaders, they just don't, man. They don't have somebody. You look at Barry Ferguson, they don't have a Barry Ferguson. I know people don't like Barry Ferguson for whatever reasons, right? I don't care what your reasons is, but that was a leader, right? That was a leader among men. That was a guy that knew how to win league titles. That was a guy who knew to win Rangers football matches and most importantly, Old Firm matches. But for that today, man, it's tragic to see how far this club's fallen. And, I went ballistic earlier. I'm not going to apologise for anything. Everything I said wasn't reactionary. It's what you're feeling. It's the truth. I feel like when you're reactionary, it's like you're going to backtrack. I don't backtrack anything I said earlier. I called some of those players that wear that shirt some pretty bad words earlier. I was calling them everything, man. I was fuming with every single one of them, and I think rightfully so. They weren't even trying. If you can't call it your team and your players when they're not trying in the biggest game that you've got to show and offer, then I don't know what you can do. And when you can call them it, it's. I just need to go to sleep, man. That's why I need to go. But then you wake up and the first thought is this, and I'll talk about it tomorrow. I need about a 2 month break for this, is what I need, man. But I won't do that. What else did Boyd say? And I quote, when you look, since got the offside goal chopped off, it's been a total capitulation for Rangers. Let's be realistic, it's men against boys out there at this moment in time. Rangers, in terms of pressing and going at them, it is all well going that way. You've got to go the other way as well. Celtic's midfield free, or the other side of the Rangers midfield free when they score that goal. It can't happen. It just cannot happen. You've got to fear the worst. When asked about how damaging it could be for Clement, he says, very. Philip Clement has tried to put a positive spin on it. A lot of people are buying into it, but let's be realistic. You look at these two teams right now, Rangers are trying to get the Celtics level, and the gulf is huge at this moment in time. So yeah, I totally agree with everything Chris Boyd said. I mean, closing thoughts here. It's just so bad, man. It is, and you know, there can't be a true Rangers fan out there that is feeling. I mean, if you took a positive, I mean, the only positive you can take from that game is that it wasn't 10-0. But the realistic, that doesn't really matter. 3-0, 10-0. You know, well, I mean, 10-0. I mean, obviously, be like a record score, all that stuff, but it may as well have been 10-0. You know, and I can't believe it. Well, I can believe it, though, that's the thing. You know, if we were realistic the day, I mean, I predicted 2 each, and I shouldn't have predicted 2 each, but I thought I'd give the team a bit of faith. I thought I'd believe in them, and they didn't give us it back. I just don't want to see James Tavernier play for this club again. I want to see Butland dropped. I want to see big changes, man. I don't want to see Ross McCausland. I mean, how can the other youth players not get a game, but Ross McCausland can? We've got Yanis Hadji, who walks into that team, is just stuck in the B team, rotting away. Cyril Dessers, you know, he had a good couple of games there before the game that mattered, and his arse went. And he had a well, you know what, actually, he's had 2 bad games this season, Dessers. Well, 3 technically. Game against Hearts, game against Kiev, and a game against Celtic. The 3 biggest games of the season, and Cyril Dessers hasn't turned up. That probably tells you everything you need to know about Cyril Dessers. As for everything else, there's not much else to say. I mean, I went ballistic earlier, and I don't regret any bit of it, man. It needed to be addressed. I feel like I've been very calm and composed for a long time with Rangers. I've accepted it, and towards the end of last season, you accept it around April time when you lose the games. I accept that the league was gone. But this is, I mean, we're not even talking months, we're talking years. We're getting close to decades of this, man, piling up on top of one another, and it needs addressed, and it has been addressed. So, yeah, Chris Boyd. The headline is, Celtic make things happen, Rangers hope things happen. There's no hope left. And that is where we're going to leave this video. Rangers 5 points off the top of the league. God knows what's next. We've got a tough Europa League draw. We've got a tough run of fixtures coming up. Big Phil said we'll get good in October, November. He'll be praying for that, as will we.